these push-ups done. I do about 300 to 400 a night. I want to get up to 500 though. So I did when the video started, I was on my last 50. So I do about 6 sets of 50. So that's 300. So that was my last set when the video started, of course, but hope we're doing good tonight. And I do those push-ups just to keep my blood flowing, because I do sit in the truck a lot. And of course, I exercise every day, well, except for Sundays. Well, I do exercise Sundays when I'm over here, but I do those push-ups to keep my blood flowing, keep me awake, because I have to drive home after working 14 hours and it still be dark. I don't want to fall asleep, of course, under the wheel. So I do those push-ups to keep me right. So one thing about doing those push-ups, the 50 reps, 6 sets of 50 reps, it shows you how to push through it, you know what I mean? So that first second, the half of that third set, the second half of that third set, so the last 25, that's when it starts to like kick in and burn, and you can feel the tightness, right? The rest of those sets, straight mental. It's mental, you know what I mean? So I advise any man, any woman, to get push-ups into their routine daily, because it develop the shoulders, it develop the chest, even the lats. Like when we do bench press and pushing mechanisms, you have to engage your lats to get a good push or whatever. But I learned that the hard way when I was younger. When I first started lifting weights, I thought it was like just pushing with your arms, you know what I mean? But it's actually engaging your lats, getting your lats, get a good foundation, get a good squeeze on your lats first, and then just let your lats unload it, and then you go down and you squeeze at the top with your chest. So that's something quick and easy this one can definitely utilize. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank y'all for the likes and comments, shares. It's 3:10 a.m. I'm still grinding, still working. I go home. My last day is tonight, which is Saturday night. So it's Saturday. So tonight's my last night. I go home Sunday, drive in. When I get home Sunday, I will, that's going to be about 9, go get a haircut and go to church. No sleep. I don't sleep until that night, with my wife, so I don't sleep, I don't nap. I just wait all night, all day. But yeah, I'm going to do that Sunday, then I'm going to chill. My wife going to cook, and that's going to be it, Then I got the next 4 days off, so I'll be making videos. Definitely these type of videos go live when I get my juice and stuff rolling. And I'm trying to put 2 to 3 videos out a day, man. 2 to 3 out a day. I'm getting more views. I'm getting more likes and comments. So it's working, you know what I mean? Just got to keep grinding, keep building, keep talking, This right here is really not a job for me, because I just want to share my story. That's the reason why I created my channel. Share my story to inspire someone that's young. And I'm not saying, my mom and dad didn't have hard times. But at this day and age, it's easy to get distracted, This is like the first generation where the internet and cell phones are really popping. Like, I'm talking about everybody got one. And like I said, my mom and dad, they had that big block phone with the wire, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like Snapchat, Instagram. It wasn't none of that type of stuff. And it's important to not get distracted, period. And I want to just share my story on how I stay focused. Stuff like that, doing 300 push-ups. I'm pumped. I feel great. I seem like I talk clearer. I'm talking clearer, louder, Like, I don't know, it's just something about repetition, and it's all something about what they call it, diversity. You know what I mean? Like I said, them last 3 sets, bro, they definitely it's definitely a mind game in the last 3 sets, and I feel great that I pushed through it. I got a little pump going, so yeah, man. That's why I created my channel, is to share my story, because like I said, a lot of folks, or a lot of dudes, a lot of men are distracted by women, and the way we're built, that's just the way we built. Women distracts us if we not focused and tuned in. That's why you get models that make 50 million on OnlyFans, right? And you can't blame the woman. I mean, you can, you know, it's unethical, but who's fueling it? It's the men. The men are doing that. The weak man, the simple man, the man that's not like, that don't know themselves, you know what I mean? And it's all lust, it's all sin, it's all what your sinful nature want, your flesh. And that's not good for people. It's not good for no one, you know, but like people that's younger, they tend to be weaker. You know, 25, 20-year-olds, they tend to be weaker, and it leads you down a road of depression. It leads you down a road of the loss of self-confidence. It leads you down a road of mediocrity. You know what I mean? And if you think about the concept of watching that stuff, OnlyFans, porn, anything like that, it's literally you watching another man. You know what I mean? It's the psychological behind it, you know. I seen a quote. It said, porn is free because you pay for it with your soul. That's deep, man. When I saw that, I'm like, wow. I'm gonna say it again. The quote said, porn is free because you pay for it with your soul. That's something else right there, man, because you do pay for it with your soul. And like I said, I'm a youngin'. When I was younger, I usually indulge in it, of course. I'm a man. And yeah, bro, it's your soul, it kills the human spirit. You know what I mean? You can have everything going for yourself, but if you're suffering from that addiction or that lust, like you can't control your eyes. You gotta look at every girl that come by. You know what I mean? It kills your human spirit. It does, man. And that's what it means by paying for it with your soul. Yeah, it might be free, but you paying for it with your soul. And that's why I created my channel, just to spread some awareness, because a lot of men are suffering and a lot of people are not talking about it. And just like, I know y'all guys seen those commercials when they come out with a new drug or new something that fix this, but 7 years later they say, oh man, if you was on this 7 years ago, you're entitled to a settlement. And like I said, this is like the first generation of the internet, first generation of like cell phones being in our face, and we don't know the side effect of that yet. It's just like the first generation. Now in 10 years, we're going to see the side effects of having those phones in our face, of watching this all the time, and OnlyFans, and we're going to see the effects of it. We just, like, this day and time in the world, they living day to day right now. They're not thinking of the side effects later on. That's why you're getting all type of people being bullied, because they see their moms on the site. You know what I mean? A lot of kids getting bullied because they see their moms on the site, and that's the side effects. That's the byproduct, right? And it's terrible, man. It's terrible. And I'm not saying that my flesh don't jump, you know, but I've learned how to tame it, though. You know what I mean? I learned how to tame it, and I'm so aware of it, to where, like, I stay away from it. I don't watch the corn. I don't when I see a girl in a gym or whatever, I turn my head, bro, because that's what boosts, if that's even a word, a woman's ego, is if she see you looking at her, that's all she wanted, man. I'm telling you, that's all she wanted. And if you ignore her or that person or anything, man, that speaks volume. So just be careful, guys. And like I said, that's why I created my channel, to bring some self-awareness to the younger guys that's struggling with this. Like I said, this is the first generation that we got access to everything on our phones. And the reason why that type of stuff thrive is because of young men haven't came into their selves, their own character. They don't know who they are. And that's how this OnlyFans and all that stuff thrives, because you got men just paying for it, you know what I mean? So that's why I created my channel. And of course, promote Christ. So that's the only way you look, man. 12-minute video. That's the only way you're gonna suppress it. Period. That's the only way, because we were born into sin. When Eve talked Adam into biting the apple in the Garden of Eden, like that, we are subject to sin. That's our nature. Like, they knew not to. Man, I don't even get into that. They knew not to eat of this tree. This is the only tree not to eat off of. You know what I mean? And our nature want to be like, what if I do? Or, man, I want to do the fruit tastes better on that tree. Or, cause it's in our brain to like, what if it tastes better, man? What am I missing out on? What am I missing out on? And that's that sinful flesh nature, And that's why a lot of divorce happen, because the grass look greener. You might think you're getting something better than what you already have, but 10 times out of 10, you're not. That's just what they showing you. You know what I mean? So like I said, we just got that sinful nature, and the only way to suppress it, the only way to learn how to get through it is through Christ. It is. Period. So, and that's why Christ died for our sins, and for you and for me. Because it don't matter how much we try to put away with it, we always gonna feel sin. We always gonna that flesh until we cross over. I'm gonna read something from the book of, what is it called? I think it was the book of something what Paul said about it. Paul, let me pause to get it right. Hold on, got it right here. So this is the book of Romans, 7th chapter, and we'll just read the 15th verse. 15 and 16 verse. And this is, Paul wrote this, and I believe Paul wrote 13 chapters of the Bible, and he struggled with sin, his sinful nature, and he put this right here. So Romans 7:15 said, I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. And if I do what I do not want to do, I agree that the law is good. Read that again. I do not understand what I do. Just like, when you indulge in sin, before, man, I ain't supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? It's your flesh. For what I want to do, I do not do. I don't want to do this, but I still do it. You know what I mean? But what I hate, I do. Man, I hate snapping at my wife. I hate doing that, showing anger to my wife. And I know it's wrong, but I still do it. You know what I mean? And in another verse, it says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know what I mean? That's when the disciples was with Jesus, and they kept falling asleep while he was praying, right? And Jesus woke them up like, boom, whatever. Then they went back to sleep 2 more times. in that verse, it said, "Spirit is weak. The spirit is willing. I'm willing to do what is supposed to be done, but the flesh is weak." You know what I mean? So we always gonna battle sin. We always gonna battle that thing, and it's tough. You know what I mean? So I just want to read that, highlight that, and that's the main reason why I created this channel. Fitness, mental health, and like I said, I don't have it perfect, but I've learned to like run from it, run from what easily besets you. And you know what easily besets you. Some people is gambling, some people is lust, some people is it can be of many things, drinking, anything, so anyway, hope you're having a great night. That's my therapy session right there, and that's for myself, man. I feel that in my soul. You know what I mean? We all struggle, and we all tend to want to judge others, but we have something that makes us dirty. We dirty, right? We all dirty. We all sinful, and I thank God for sending His Son to die. So yeah, have a great night. Y'all make sure y'all get a workout in tomorrow. Got one in today. I didn't put it up because I had people asking me about, man, it was crazy today. There was so many people in there. And so I'm gonna put one up tomorrow. My last day is tomorrow. I gotta pack, get back home, and enjoy my days off. So y'all be good, be blessed, and I have something out for y'all tomorrow. Be blessed and not stressed. Peace.